Australia, a continent twice the size of Europe, has a population of just 22 million, concentrated almost exclusively on its coasts. On the east coast, bounded by the Pacific Ocean, beyond the suburbs of the big cities, you immediately plunge into the wildest natural parks on the planet. One hour outside Sydney, the Blue Mountains' immense eucalyptus forests have been designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. The Blue Mountains owe their name to hundreds of varieties of eucalyptus trees which give off a natural bluish vapour. The Three Sisters, these famous rocky peaks of ochre sandstone, have become the emblem of the Blue Mountains. In this vast, still poorly known territory, they discovered a Jurassic tree not long ago, a true living fossil. It's impossible to venture here without a guide. It's mainly Sydney residents and thrill-seeking lovers of the great outdoors who visit the Valley of Katoomba in the north of the Blue Mountains, which offer hiking, canyoning, rock climbing and abseiling. Further away, where it's even more wild, right in the south of the Blue Mountains, Mark Tickner has taken up residence. Mark's idea was a unique and funny sort of hotel, without walls or doors, in direct contact with the nature of Australia. He's preparing the camp for the safari of his next guests, but in the meantime, his only customer is a goanna.
See little bumps in his tail there, scar. He's either got his tail caught somewhere or something's had a chew on it. He could have had a fight with another goanna. They do that. But they'll climb. They just stay very still and they'll climb up and lie on those branches, the horizontal branches of the tree. Just sit there all day.
In order to respect the tranquility of the area, Mark welcomes just one group at a time, a maximum of 6 people in his 3 bungalows. His goal is zero impact, no electricity, the water comes from the river and goes back there. Everything that has been built here must be able to be dismantled in a few hours without leaving a trace. His model is the harsh life led by the Australian pioneers in the 18th and 19th centuries. But he does allow a few concessions to modern hotel standards.
Well, these are our star beds, I guess. They're a swag deck. So we sleep in a canvas swag, and you've got one right here, see, rolled up. And the idea is to sleep out under the stars. So these covers are here just to keep the bed covered in case it rains. So on a good day, good starry night, and we have fantastic stars here. It's just unbelievable. Whole Milky Way just dances right across the top here, and it's spectacular. What we do with this is we lower him down, we drop the bucket into the shower, load it up with water, and the other interesting thing about this is in the hot midday sun here in the summer, the water gets warm, really warm. So you can have a really quite a nice little shower without freezing yourself to death. It's quite warm. You just tie that back off. So in essence, it's a solar shower. So when you're ready, away you go. Beautiful way to have a shower in the bush. Nice and easy. Of course, you can just turn it off like that when you've had enough.
Mark's camp is on the banks of the Wallandilly River, whose meanders provide a habitat for an abundant fauna of extraordinary animals, often native to Australia. Among them is a funny animal with a duck's beak, a beaver's tail, and an otter's paw. It's so strange that for a long time the old European naturalists didn't believe it was for real.
An amazing little creature. This is one of the most fun things we do with our guests here at the camp. Bring them out on the river in the kayaks and the canoe and just drift around nice and quietly, searching for the platypus. And obviously there's other things here. In fact, I can see a water dragon right now on the edge of the rock here. And he's staying very still. And he thinks that if we don't move too much, he won't move either. They're like the guards of the river, the little water dragon, like sentinels up on their rocks, checking us out, giving us permission to be here.
At night, when the wind drops and the sounds of the forest intensify, how do you escape the feeling of solitude and great vulnerability that suddenly takes hold of you?
It's very intimidating for people. In a way, they come here and they have to confront all those fears. They arrive here and they know all about our snakes and our spiders and, you know, all the things they're terrified of. And for some, it's quite emotional, you know. You can see that once they get through the night and they wake up and they realise that they're still here, you know, they're very happy. And, you know, we've had some guests that couldn't cope and have, you know, we I have no problem with booking them into a nice hotel somewhere if they can't cope out here under the stars. So yeah, it happens, and it's happened a few times. Some folks aren't ready to sleep with no walls surrounding them. In a way, in a little way, if I'm having an impact, I'm putting them back in touch with nature.
Far away from Mark's extreme tourism, Australia offers travellers a unique discovery to unite all hearts: koala bears. Like the kangaroo, the koala is a real emblem of Australia. Adored by the people, this marsupial that looks like a teddy bear is very dependent on the diversity of its habitat. Out of some 600 Eucalyptus species, it can only digest about 20 varieties. Travelling north up the East Australian Cordillera, just beyond Brisbane, the most extensive city in the world, lies a marvel of nature which has also been designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, Fraser Island. A short distance from the coast, Fraser Island is beautiful. A gigantic bank of white sand measuring 125 kilometres from south to north and 15 kilometres from east to west. Very few permanent residents live on the island, apart from a few fishermen and national park rangers. The eucalyptus forests and primary tropical forests which cover the island enclose over 100 freshwater lakes edged by beaches of white sand. Let's give in to the Australian liking for superlatives. Fraser Island is the largest sand island in the world. Peter Mayer, son of a German émigré, grew up in Brisbane. He has a passion for Fraser Island.
Yeah, the way Fraser Island is, it's pretty much impossible to tar all the roads. It's just the logistics and the cost would be phenomenal. So the only way really to get around is either four-wheel drive or walking. Walking is another thing. There are over 150 kilometres worth of walking tracks on the island. So in a way, walking is really the best way to see anything. You slow down and you get in, like you take your time. But sometimes distances make you, I guess you need a four-wheel drive, unfortunately, yeah.
Peter travelled all over the world before settling on the island 10 years ago. Since then, he leaves it as little as possible. The beauty and variety of landscapes on Fraser Island has inspired his real passion for photographing great natural spaces. He has found his paradise here.